Hey, Magnus here, and today we're going to talk about the Zhiyun Crane 2 and my opinion on that versus the DJI Ronin S. Coming up. Testing one. Behind you with like the clouds, the sky and everything, and still be able to see. We've got the Rode video mic. Here we go. M50. What do you guys think? Alright, so before I get into the Crane 2, I wanted to talk about Nikon and its recent announcement, or announcement of an announcement. So they're talking about the new mirrorless full-frame camera that they're about to release. They did a press release where they said, hey, we're going to announce a new full-frame mirrorless camera. And before that, they showed a video which I did a quick reaction to, which you could take a look right here. Watching in here. So it looks like that lens mount is going to be pretty large on this. And now the light is hitting colors getting through prisms, and so it looks like she's looking through that's a not a viewfinder, but a pretty large screen. In pursuit of light. Nikon. Looking forward to see the specs and what this camera's gonna be about and what it has. And it was my honest reactions that I had to that. But basically, I have nothing to say until the camera's released. We don't have any specs, we don't have any details about it, but I'm curious. Nikon, you got my attention, but stop teasing an announcement and just make it happen if you're gonna make it happen. But anyway, that's a subject for another day. Until Nikon says something, I've got nothing to say. We're talking about the Ronin S versus the Crane 2. So now, here's a little backstory when it comes to this. The Crane 2 is a gimbal that I purchased a few months ago, and I've actually used it a lot with my 5D Mark IV because it cures the lack of a sensor stabilization inside the camera, because this just does all the stabilization work for you. And with the dual pixel autofocus that you get with the Canon camera mixed with this, you get amazing footage, which is something that I particularly enjoy and I wanted so badly. I had to wait a long time before I could get a gimbal. But by the time I got this gimbal, it was the right choice for me because it could handle the weight and it was still easy to carry around. But a few weeks later, after I got the gimbal, the Ronin S was released, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. The Ronin S looks amazing, and all big YouTubers were talking about it, and it looked interesting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks awesome. My favorite feature that the Ronin S has is that this back piece that's on the Crane 2, on the Ronin, it's actually down here. So when you do shots, like let's say I had a microphone on top of it, and I start to move this like this, right? This would bump into the microphone, but you can get a lot lower with the Ronin S that you can't get with this thing. And also, this piece is still a little bit annoying, but it can handle weight such as the Canon 1DX Mark II when you actually add an adjustment plate on top of this so that you could bring it down a little bit lower to handle the 1DX Mark II. But unfortunately, it can't do that right off the get-go. But then the Ronin S gets released and it's got that lower back piece and it seems to be cool and everyone's using it. So I'm like, should I regret my decision? Well, after pulling the reviews, not trying it myself, but seeing what others have said and the specs that it has, I don't regret my decision. This is a little bit more expensive than the Ronin S, but the Ronin S lacked a few features that I think were vital. First of all, the Crane 2 has an LCD screen, which is awesome. That LCD screen, you could change a lot of the features directly from the Crane rather than having to log into your mobile phone and direct it from there, which you could do if you wanted to and actually tweak the settings from there. But if you didn't have your phone or you wanted to do it right from the gimbal, you could do it right here, whereas the Ronin S you couldn't. Other thing that I preferred about this is the fact that it's a lot lighter. Now I wanted to do vlogging with this gimbal, and this gimbal lets me do vlogging pretty easily. It just turns to me, I can hold it with one arm with no issue and get to vlogging right up front. Now, not that you can't with the Ronin S, but you're gonna need to do some serious heavy lifting with that thing because it does weigh significantly more than the Crane 2. And then finally, the batteries that this thing uses last a very long time when compared to the Ronin S. The Ronin S does have the ability to charge right from the gimbal via USB, but those batteries do not last anywhere near as long as the Crane 2. And the Crane 2's batteries are pretty standard, and though you have to charge it externally, they'll last you up to 10 or 11 hours, which is basically what I would want to use it for. Well, after using it for a day, I could charge it later and not have to worry about that. But it's definitely something that I would take into consideration. I want something that's going to last me a long time where I don't have to charge mid shoot. And also, sure, having a USB charger right there can be convenient when you set it down and you need to charge it for a few moments, but I don't find myself using it and having it connected by wire because it's just inconvenient. If I'm holding that heavy gimbal and a portable charger with it, it's just more weight that I don't feel is necessary to carry with me. So that's my honest opinion, and yeah, I do have a bias because I've already purchased this, but I do believe that the features that this have are worth it to not make me feel so bad about not purchasing the Ronin S. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you get the Crane 2 even though it's a little bit more expensive, or would you go with the Ronin S thanks to its different features that it has? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, you can like, share, and make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later. This thing's shaking on me because I didn't balance it right. Remember, it's not going to move if you balance it right. I unfortunately did not balance this thing right, so it's shaking like a madman, which is probably draining the battery, and I don't want to do that. Gotta go.